Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back to Tech Conversations. Firstly, if you haven't already, make sure to check out Moomoo. Right now you can earn an 8.1% APY on your uninvested cash by using my link in the description below. You could also get up to 30 free stocks right now. Keep in mind, terms and conditions do apply. So go ahead and check out Moomoo. I'll put a link to them in the description below. Also, make sure to check out the Discord, completely free to join. So I'll put a link to the Discord in the description below as well. Now let's get right into today's video. So today I have some very exciting news for Robinhood users. So trading futures on Robinhood is finally here. And today I want to go over how to trade futures on Robinhood. So I finally got access to this new feature about 2 to 3 days ago. It's very possible you may not have access yet, but I do think they're slowly rolling this feature out to more and more customers, and eventually everyone will have access. So I do want to start by saying that trading futures is very risky in my opinion and not suitable for all investors. So let's get right into this video. So where do I find this feature on Robinhood? So what I would do is I would go to the top here, and in here we can just type in futures. And so notice that under lists, there's going to be a futures button here that we can go ahead and click on. So as you can see, this is taking us over to this entire list of different futures that we can trade here. Now, first of all, what are futures? So futures are contracts to buy or sell an asset at a future date at an agreed upon price. And the assets within a futures contract can be just about anything, including coffee, oil, ETFs, cryptocurrencies, and much more. So for today's video, I'm going to be using the very first one on the list here, micro S&P 500 index futures here. And by the way, as of right now, there are 36 different futures listed on Robinhood. You can see here the entire list. So there are quite a bit of different futures listed here as of right now. But again, for today's demo, I'm going to be using the very first one on this list here. So let's go over to micro S&P 500 index futures. So firstly, every futures product has multiple contracts with varying expiration dates. And the contract that has the most activity and trading volume is generally called the active contract. So where do I find this? So if you go all the way to the top here, notice that this is actually a drop down right here. So if I click on it, we can actually see here the active contract, which is the one we're currently on. And then we also have this option here as well. So there's two different contracts here right now. Now, I want to quickly talk about the futures symbols because there is a formula for reading this. So notice this says MESH 25. This one says MESM 25. When it comes to future symbols, they're going to start with this forward slash, as you can see here. Then you're going to get your root symbol, which for this one would be MES. That stands for micro E-mini S&P 500. H is actually the expiration month code. And so let me quickly show you the codes here. So if you go over here, futures months. So January is going to be F, February is going to be G, March will be H, April J, May K, June M, July N, August Q here, September U, October V, November X, and December Z. So that's how you can determine there the expiration month. So let's go back here. So here, because we have an H, the expiration month is March. Here, because we have an M, the expiration month is June. And then finally, at the end, we have the expiration year. So 25, it expires in 2025. So that's how you read the future symbols here. Okay. Now, let's take a look here at the contract specs. So notice down here, we have the section called contract specs. So the first thing we're going to see here is margin requirement. So very straightforward. This is the cash needed to open a futures position. So let's say I go over here and I type in 1 for quantity here. You can see it tells me that this is my estimated margin that will be required. And so when it comes to trading futures here on Robinhood, you should also be aware of futures deficits and margin calls. So I'll actually put a link in the description below to where you can read more about this. But this is a very important topic here. And so that is what margin requirement is telling us there. And then now let's talk about price movement here. So price movement is determined by its contract multiplier, by the tick size, and by the tick value. So let's go through each one of these here. So firstly, multiplier here, or contract multiplier. This tells us how much money we'll gain or lose for a 1 point move in the futures contract. So for example, if this goes from 6133.75 and it goes up 1 to 6134.75, then we would expect to gain $5. And that's if we buy this futures contract. Now the opposite is also true. If this goes down by 1 point to 6132.75 and we buy this futures contract, right, then we would lose $5. That's the way you read that right there. Now when it comes to the tick size here, tick size displays the smallest possible price movement that a futures contract can move up or down. So for this example, it's 0.25. So if you take a look here at the price action, you'll notice it's moving at least in increments of 0.25, right? So for example, here we went from 6135 to 6134.75. So that's what tick size tells us there. And then finally, we have tick value. So tick value is the monetary value associated with a single tick size movement. So that's going to be calculated by taking our multiplier and multiplying that by our tick size. So it's basically telling us for one tick size movement, this is how much we will gain or lose. So again, if this goes up by 0.25 and we buy this, we would gain $1.25. However, if we buy this and this goes down by 0.25, then we would lose $1.25. That's how you read this here. Now, we also have the hours that we can trade the contract. So let's take a look here. So markets are open Sunday at 5 p.m. to Friday at 4 p.m. and closed from 4 to 5 p.m. each day. So it's almost open 24 hours a day, right? It's open 23 hours a day, 5 days a week. Next, we have settlement type. So cash settlement is going to be, when you get a credit or debit that's issued to your account at expiration based on the settlement price and your average entry price. We also have physical settlement, and we'll talk more about that here in a little bit. And then finally, we have the LDTT, or the last day to trade. The name suggests here, this is the final date you can close out of a contract that you have a position in here. So for this particular example, March 21st, 2025. Now let's talk a little bit more about settlement and expiration. So if you're familiar with trading options, similar to options, all futures contracts have an expiration date and they will expire. And so at expiration, futures contracts are either cash settled, like we already mentioned, or physically settled. Now, the thing about Robinhood is that if you hold a physically settled product, you'll need to close it prior to the last day to trade, which again is this right here, because Robinhood doesn't support the delivery of physically settled products. If you don't do that, Robinhood will close out of the position on your behalf. So for example, I'm going to come up here and I'm going to do MGC J25, so micro gold futures. So for example, if we take a look at the settlement type here, notice that it's physical. And if we take a look here, physical settlement typically means delivering or taking delivery of the commodity, but Robinhood doesn't allow physical settlement. So all positions must be closed by the last day to trade. And so when it comes to closing your position, if you need to close your position before it expires, you can do so by placing an offsetting order. So basically that means if you initially bought a contract, let's say I bought a contract here, if I bought one of these contracts here, for me to close out of this, what I would do is I would come in later and I would instead sell the exact same contract. And also, right, the other way is the same thing. If you initially sold a contract, then you would later come in and to close out of it, you would buy the exact same contract. Now, the very last thing I want to mention here is commissions and fees. So that's very important here. So there is a commission charge on a per contract basis here for every trade, and this is charged by Robinhood. And so we can actually see this here, 50-cent total commission. And one thing I want to mention here is that if you're a Robinhood Gold member, you will get a lower commission. And I'll show you what these fees are here in a minute. Now, there's also a fixed regulatory fee per contract traded. And there's also exchange fees. And these will vary depending on the product or symbol and are subject to change. So we can see that below. 62 cents total regulatory and exchange fees. So let me actually show you here the exact numbers. So commissions, regulatory fees, and exchange fees will be charged on all trades as well as on any cash settlement transactions. So fixed cost per contract traded, again, this is the Robinhood commission fee. If you're not a Robinhood Gold member, 75 cents. If you are a Robinhood Gold member, 50 cents. We have this NFA regulatory fee, which is 2 cents. And then variable cost per contract traded, so the exchange fee for trades from 20 cents up to $7.50, which varies by symbol and is subject to change. And the exchange fee for cash settlements between $0 and $2.50, again, varies by symbol and subject to change. So this is a very simplistic video on trading futures here on Robinhood. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments section below. Check out the Discord, link to that in the description below. Hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think, and I will see you guys next time.